Yo, what's up? This is Jason V.
Yo, we got Jason 3D over here.
We're back together again, man.
We never left.
That's true. It's the tradition now that every time we put out a record, we do album commentary because we stole it from Ghost.
Yeah, I used to think people didn't actually fucking listen to these things, but it seems more and more at shows people tell me, oh yeah, that commentary was fucking funny, bud.
Yeah, man. I think people enjoy it. Nerds like us, like I know you and I have both dug real deep into the fucking history of Kiss and all that shit, and we've listened to all the extra stuff. So we always say in the Jasons that people will be as big of a fan of your band as you let them be. And so if you want to be that kind of fan, here we go.
You know what I always worry about? I was talking to someone the other day. You can read 50 books about a band or a serial killer or something.
Yeah.
You'll read 50 books. They'll all say the exact same shit. You might walk away with like knowing the color of someone's underpants. But like people like us subject ourselves to that kind of shit.
Right. What do you worry about though? You said you worry
I don't want us
that.
to be that. I want us to be different every time someone talks to us.
Oh, I got you.
So I'm going to start lying about shit.
You mean you haven't been lying this whole time?
That's not the point.
I was going to say, man, I don't know a time that I've heard something come out of your mouth that wasn't a fucking lie.
That's not the fucking point, man.
Right, all right. Well, hey, guess what?
Be truthful, though.
In your lies,
you can go fuck off.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't believe you.
You can ride around the block.
I don't believe you. That's our new thing now. Anytime we get in a fight, we tell each other to go ride around the block and think about it.
Yeah, it's because he likes some shitty guitar player cat lady person.
The fucking great cat, man. She's the spiritual successor to Beethoven.
Yeah, why are you wasting so much time? Start the record.
Because right now what they're doing is they got their record that they just bought. Now we're doing this to the Spotify queue. But you can do this to the vinyl. Now, I'll tell you what you need to do. If you're doing this to the vinyl, by the time you get to Dead Fuck, you need to hit pause and go flip your shit.
Yeah, and that means that the vinyl finally arrived and you finally got it.
Yeah, and so for those of you that have the vinyl and are listening, congratulations. For those of you that are listening early, because we're going to post this beforehand.
Oh, we're going to post this before you get the vinyl.
Yeah, but this is our fucking our magnum opus. We said that about Get Fucked, right? But then we went out and did ourselves
and made the pasta de resistance.
You got most of that right. Good for you.
Yeah, I did pretty good there.
This is our best record, 3D.
I agree.
We've not released a better record than this, and I know like Get Fucked has a lot of fucking fans out there, and we appreciate that.
I love Get Fucked, but I'm surprised by the amount of people that will come up and be like, "Yo, Blood in the Streets is good, but Get Fucked is where it's at."
Well, we're in that section of our career where we release something so seminal, full of semen, that that people have now considered that a classic, and anything we do after that is going to be. It's going to be a fight to get people to realize how good it is. But the good thing is when we put Blood in the Streets out, a lot of people discovered us. So for many people, this is their fucking Master of Puppets, and the other one is their fucking Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, or the Black Album.
Yeah, and now
they'll be like, "Oh wow, listen how clean and awesome this is." Master of Puppets, it sucks.
A lot of people hate the Black Album, though.
I know. Because it sounds so clean and pristine.
Well, a lot of people hate the Black Album, but which album made the most money? The fucking Black Album.
Yeah. Not Saint Anger.
No, definitely not, man. But this was the one, man, when we, the magic things happened, all the fucking magical things that happened to make this record come into place, one of which was being... right at the time of we were getting ready to go on tour, and Hell in Hollywood told us they were leaving. Our longtime members.
No. It wasn't right about the time that we was about to go on tour. It was the first night of tour.
It was the first night of tour.
We didn't even play the set yet, and they pulled V to the side, and they was like, "Yo, we don't want to do this no more."
Yeah.
And then V laughed in their faces.
Yeah, because Hell pulls me over, and he starts like, he goes, "I'm gonna have to quit the band," and I never believe anything he says because he lies more than this 3D guy over here, and so I'm just like, "Fuck you, man!" And then I look over, and Hollywood's crying, original Hollywood. And he doesn't normally cry about stuff unless he means it.
Robert Smith said boys don't cry, man.
Right. Well, they're both little girls for the most part. Not to put down girls.
Well, that's sexist, yo. You're gonna get us put in a fucking.
Fuck, I canceled us already, man.
We just talked about this before you hit the play button or the record button.
That's true. But yeah, so they informed us that they were quitting, and what 3D and I did was we drove around on that entire tour texting each other like, what the fuck are we gonna do, man? Who are we gonna get? How are we gonna do it? And then like near the end, we just went, all right, guys, here's what we're thinking about doing. Here's who we're thinking about getting to replace you. Here's how we're gonna go forward. We're gonna keep your characters here, blah, blah, blah. And, we basically just started discussing it with them because we couldn't keep it in anymore, man. We're on fucking tour thinking this is the end of the goddamn world.
This shit's on our fucking mind, so much.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's what we do. Well, so that happened, and we they had heard some of the songs for this, but they hadn't heard them all.
Right.
And, then we started trying to figure out who was going to replace them. And I will say, man, be it, because we can now get together and practice a whole bunch because of the, or because everybody's musical abilities are different in some cases, better in some cases, we've been able to level up our band and our sound. And I think everybody, seeing us post band split is very complimentary about, how the band has grown. And that's not taking away anything from those guys, but
we still talk to them daily. We're all still good buds.
Yeah. But just, whatever the change of personnel also came with a major change of attitude for us. We were fucking angry going into Get Fucked. Going into this, we felt like we fucking were the kings of the world, man. And so this album is not as angry. It's more like a celebration of everybody else being shittier than us.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's just the truth,
Yeah. So we've done 7 minutes worth of talking. You got anything? Because this is gonna go real quick. You got anything before we press play here? 3D.
No.
All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna queue it up on Spotify or whatever you got. You're gonna go to the first track, which is Blood in the Streets, and you're gonna hit it with me together, like we came together when we had sex with your mom last night. 3, 2, 1.
Climax.
So. The intro to this song, 3D, I wanted it to be like the intro to Alice Cooper's Poison. That sound.
Yeah. You never told me that before, but that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. Me and John Stoker, the guy that recorded this, spent about an hour doing weird pick slides with different effects trying to get that. And I accidentally did that. So that's where that came from.
Yeah. But to be honest, that says a lot for this whole album. There's a lot of stuff throughout here that we weren't getting just right, or we got tired of doing it and then just did a fuck you kind of moment and it came out the way we wanted it.
That's right. Yeah. And this one, when this song, before this song happened, for me, man, it was almost like once I sat down and fucking wrote the chorus to this song, the whole album made sense. I don't know why, but it was like this was the mission statement.
The vision.
Yeah.
You got a little...
It was
I don't know the word I'm trying to say, so I'm going to stop talking.
It was inspiration, and it was like... I felt like this communicated everything that you and I were feeling, because we drive around a lot after shows, and it was this idea that we don't want to be part of the fucking horror punk scene. We don't want to be part of any scene. We just want to climb out above all the fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And everybody that laughed at us or said we were a gimmick band or said we wouldn't make it... They're all sitting back there doing the same shit, and we really felt like we evolved.
We've busted out there's so many people that come up to us at shows, and they'll make the comment, we came for the gimmick, but stayed for the music, or this or that, or people just say the music's getting better, that the gimmick's not even that big of a deal anymore, which it really is, especially to us and everything. It's a huge part of the music and the process.
Yeah.
But like he was saying though, we're not tied down to one scene anymore. We appreciated horror punk and all that when it first started. It got us moving a good bit, but then we don't sit around listening to horror punk. We sit around, we listen to Kiss, we listen to the Queers, we listen to Screeching Weasel, we listen to Accept, Quiet Riot. We don't listen to people that strictly sing about being spooky all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's not the style of shows we want to play, because even our songs, they're about Jason, but they're not Jason being spooky or being scary. It's kind of singing a song through his eyes. You know, like...
And I will break in and say this real quick because we're at the end. If you're wondering if this is related to Jason, it's not. But I made sure that I put a few lines in there that harken Blood in the Streets back to Manhattan, which is down in the sewers where the rats all dwell. We come alive when the sun goes down, climbing out of the sewers. That's what that's about. Yeah. And now we're talking about KM1.
Now, before we even talk about this, I want you to tell them why the title's wrong.
So here's the deal, man. The robot in the film is called KM13.
Is it 13 or 14?
I don't remember. But sometimes, as an artist, you don't want to get so fucking hung up on trying to shove something in there that doesn't work. So I thought, if it was...
put a little bit of lube on it sometimes,
Yeah, and the lube of this was cut off the whatever the other number was because I thought, all right, this guy made a fucking robot. And then I thought, if it was KM14 or 13, he probably made others, so I'm going to write it from the perspective of this is about the first robot that he made. But I'll tell you what, 3D, I jacked off to that robot in that movie. I thought she was real sexy.
With the robotic nipples?
Oh, my God.
You know why they called her KM13.
Why?
Friday the 13th.
Oh, but was it KM13 or 14? We don't know.
But that's if it was 13... That's why they called it 13.
That's true. Now,
if it was 14, they were just like, we can't call it 13 because Friday the
13th. Yeah.
But they didn't call that movie Friday the 13th.
They called it Jason X.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, KM13, she got a number behind her name, and I immediately thought of Screeching Weasel 99, about an agent with a number behind her name. So we thought, this will be really funny. We're going to take the chord progression to 99, turn it completely backwards, and then write this song about it, right? So then that kind of bled into the idea of, if we're going to do that, we want to put an homage to fucking Ben Weasel, and we want to obviously call attention to that. A lot of bands rip off Screeching Weasel and don't say nothing. But so that's why the lyric in this song says, please don't sue me, Ben Foster. Do they know that I'm a sham? Do they know that it's a scam? And then the icing on the cake was what you did at the end.
Yeah, saying 99.
Like, 3D got so into it that he just started singing 99. And we just did, we wanted to tell the Ramones core scene, like, yeah, man, we all fucking rip it off. It's obvious, but let's just call attention to it. So maybe it was a little early on the record to put like a joke track, but other than that end, it's not a joke track. It's like one of our most popular songs.
Yeah, people fucking love because you can dance to it, Yeah. It's a poppy song. You can do your little pogo stuff to it. Now, Scene Police goes a lot with what we was just saying about 2 minutes ago.
It's like, for me, we needed the asshole of this album that was like, we totally step outside of the Jason's thing and have a little commentary on things. But like I said, on this record, we're not as necessarily as angry, but we still had something to say. I still had like a little axe to grind, and generally when we agree a lot on the way scene politics go. So I felt confident enough that this could be our asshole, and I could speak for both of us in saying that we're just totally sick of everybody policing what punk is and what it isn't. Is it a gimmick band? Do you believe like this? Do you dress like that? We're punk rock, whether or not anyone else thinks we're punk rock.
Well, I honestly kind of feel like a lot of people in Ramones core kind of agree with that kind of sense, like, because they're just dads with leather jackets and blue jeans.
Well, and that's the thing too, like, it's almost like we came from that horror punk scene, and it's so fucking dogmatic. You gotta look like this, you gotta wear this,
don't forget your baby powder before
my God.
And that all that shit looks cool, all that.
Sometimes.
I like it. I like the black vests with the powder on it, trying to look like Rob Zombie and all that. But then, like, it's you get into the argument over, like, oh, well, he has too much baby powder on, or that guy's wearing the same makeup as, Death, or this or that,
or you don't sound enough like Glenn Danzig.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, this little clip in the middle, the operator, the Scene Police operator, is our friend Grim Deeds, who's the most prolific motherfucker out there, and even Dr. Frank says so.
Yeah. So, by time we're done recording this commentary, Grim Deeds will have 10 albums out.
That's right. And the girl in that one, she's a voice actress that I hired.
Why didn't you just get a girl to do it?
I tried and I just couldn't get what I wanted, so I I fucking chumped out money out of my own pocket to make that happen, and it wasn't cheap.
Was it like $5 on Fiverr?
I fucking wish, 3D. But no, I went for a real actress. So, here we go. JJ was a headbanger.
JJ, I love this song.
Man, again, like, we listened to a lot of fucking 80s metal.
Yeah.
And going into this, it was like we just wanted to celebrate that a little bit on this record. And every Ramones core band has a fucking song about. There's Susie was a headbanger, Flamingo's got a headbanger, Teenage Bottle Rockets got headbanger, Sack had headbanger, which became Teenage Bottle Rockets headbanger. But the original headbanger was fucking Quiet Riot, man.
That's true. And Mental Health, man. It fucking or no, it was Metal Health.
Mental Health.
Yeah. Wasn't it supposed to be Mental Health or something?
I think it's just a clever play on words.
Just a clever play on words.
But if you really want your like fucking headbanger song, you go to Quiet Riot.
Yeah.
And also, if you want a song about the Friday the 13th mythos, man, Jason Takes Manhattan, fucking JJ. She got blasted in the head with a pink flying V Gibson guitar. So
there's no more metal way to die than getting killed with a guitar.
That's true. And there's no real more way to write a song about a headbanger than to just straight up steal the bang your head shit from Quiet Riot. I mean, to me, that was like, I thought that was super fucking clever, but we also managed, and we're clever, right? Whatever,
we're
fuck
the most
you.
Clever.
But we managed to get fucking Jason Hell knocking out those double bass parts in there.
Yeah.
People fucking love this song live, and it's because for the most part, most of the dudes in the punk scene fuck around with 80s metal and heavy metal a little bit.
Well, it's because that's where a lot of us came from.
Yeah, man.
You know, like, you had Black Flag, and Bad Brains and Misfits and Ramones and all that were back then. But like, what was popular at the time?
Right. And here we got No Matter What They Say, it's still Crystal Lake to me, no matter what they call it in part 6. I thought that title was hilarious.
It's so fucking long.
Well, and that was my point.
As the designer for the band, I hate it.
Well, yeah, because you had to fit it on the back of the album. But to me, it was so funny because how many like Ramones core songs are like, I don't want to be, open parentheses, chilling with you tomorrow, close parentheses. I thought it'd be really funny. And like, if not only are we singing about Crystal Lake, but we're not even singing it from the perspective of being Jason. It's like from being somebody who watched a Jason movie. I just thought it was funny on many levels.
You know what we should do on the next album?
What's that?
Is have, first part of song, parentheses, and then another parentheses after it saying something else.
Yeah, like...
Redux.
Yeah.
Parentheses.
Parentheses squared or something, yeah. This song
it's just a fun song.
It wasn't supposed to have that na 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 na. I was actually what I was doing. I think it was me and you.
Yeah, you did it, and I was like, you should keep that.
Yeah, because I was saying,
you were like, no, it's just the guitar solo, and I was like, no, you should keep that.
Yeah, I was saying like, oh, we'll just have the guitar go na 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 na, and you went no, well, let's sing that, and I was like, fuck. Well, all right.
Yeah.
And then what?
I think a lot of people know that by now because we've said it before, but if you're new, that's kind of how a lot of the stuff goes down. Is really the brains behind writing the songs, and then I just kind of come in and I'm like, what if we did this here, or what if you did that backwards, or add a cool intro here.
I call it putting it through the 3D filter.
Yeah, I'm like a cheesecloth.
Yeah, the 3D's cloth.
Yeah,
and a lot of times that's how it is, and then sometimes what 3D will do is he'll like throw something my way.
I do it the Peter Criss way. I write like one line of a song, give it to you, and then take credit for it.
Well, but that works, But then you get on the commentary and you admit that you do that. So fuck, we have to delete that part out.
Nah,
so you can
because everyone will be like, yo, that's real cool the way that you do that.
Well, yeah, it is. No, it is cool. And because I mean, even going all like, well, I guess we'll get to it later. But Dead Fuck. I mean, the song Dead Fuck. The genesis, the nucleus of Dead Fuck was you. You sent it to me. And you're just like, hey, man, here's what I got, but do whatever you want. And
it was originally called Do the Jimmy.
Do the Jimmy, yeah. And so...
we'll talk about that when we get
there. We'll talk about that when we get there. Oh, this is you, man.
So, 30-second song, so we don't have much time to talk about it, but this was literally... I had written a really bad song, and it just wasn't good. Everyone kind of would, like, let me do my thing, and it just... we were sitting in the studio one day, and I was like, "Hey, that's a bad song," and everyone was just kind of like, "Yeah." And so like, I really wanted a song on the album, and I had that riff, and V and I had played it a few times, but like it wasn't meant for the album. But I really wanted a song on the album, so I condensed it, and I thought it sounded tough this way.
Yeah.
And so we sat down, we did it, and busted it out. And
wow, perfect timing. And let me say one more thing. No matter what, I think it's always, for me anyways, writing, Jason's records, it's always important to have that 3D song because
yeah, it's like the Dee Dee song.
You always need the fucking Dee Dee song, yeah.
So we're on Dead Fuck now.
Okay, so this ended up being our music video by accident, our first music video. But yeah, man, 3D hit me up one day and he said, "Hey, man, I'm fucking working on this. See if if you want to do something with it or whatever." He just sent it over, and it was like, do the Jimmy. First you thrust your hands, then you got to move your feet.
It wasn't quite that, but it was like it was that same kind of idea, yeah.
Yeah, and
it was like, I was trying to say that like you throw your hands around or something like that.
And I thought it's the perfect like instructional song, but then I thought we could also. Because I was actually working on a song. I don't know if you even knew this, man. I was working on a song called "Fuck the Teddy Bear," and it was gonna be real mean, and it was gonna be like, "Yeah, baby, I got my fucking collar popped. Now it's time to fuck the teddy bear," which is funny because Teddy Bear in that movie never gets fucked.
Right.
But he calls Jimmy a dead fuck.
We should still do that song.
Yeah. Oh, it's still. I got it written like the title to do.
Yeah, it'll be like your favorite Meatloaf album, Hang Tight, Teddy Bear.
Exactly. So yeah. But I thought, well, if we call this Dead Fuck, we have the chance to use fuck again, which we like to do.
Well, we use it a lot.
It's like naming the dance, And then this middle part here, I just always like it when fucking bands will stop the song and talk to the listener.
That's your who's that?
Well,
what's that band that the next song?
Oh, Boris the Sprinkler. Yeah, kind of. I was also kind of thinking of Twisted Sister a little bit because they do a few things like that, And I can't even pinpoint what it was, but I know Twisted Sister was in my mind too.
Were you thinking of like the Drill Sergeant Dad?
Nah.
Hey, you do the dead fuck.
Maybe, and we've talked about covering Leader of the Pack, but even in that, there's a little bit of that.
Oh, hey. Yeah.
There's also a song, not like this exactly, but Riverdale's where Ben Weasel just goes on some rant like, blah, 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 baby, you did this and you did that. And,
no, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but... Oh, here we go. Now we got... This is my favorite song on the record, 3D. This is Red-Blooded American Punk Rock. Yeah, this is where you should have flipped your record by now.
This is like... This song, like, is the album.
To me, too.
So it's like... This is the song that... if this song does become our like golden album, this is the song where if someone goes, "Oh, I like Red Blooded on Blood in the Streets," the assholes are gonna be like, "Yeah, of course you do. Everybody does."
And this is also the song that, to me, symbolizes us reaching way farther outside of the genres that we've played with.
Yeah.
And
because it's not a Ramones core song, it's not
still downpicked all to fuck, of course, but yeah, and it symbolizes probably a little more the direction that we want to go in the future as far as just doing a little bit more of this stuff. You'll still have your Ramones core songs and stuff, but this brought in a lot of stuff, and there's so many fucking lyric things, 3D, like. So number one, I'll just list them off real quick because I don't want to take up all the fucking time. Number one, King of the Kill. Blood in the Gutter, I'm the King of the Kill. King of the Kill is a song by Annihilator. I like to drop their name. The Red Ripper and You're in My Sights, that's a Blackie Lawless-ism. He maybe didn't say that exact thing. That's a Blackie Lawless thing. Razor Blade Tonight, Hand Grenade Tonight. Those, I just felt like using your dick as a metaphor for things that kill you is kind of what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Are you fucking a girl? Are you killing somebody? Same thing. So
killing her with the fuck.
Yeah, killing her with the fuck. Jason's next record. So
it's a love song by 3D.
Sure, killing her with the fuck. And we've been, Red Blooded. It's been in our fucking verbal, arsenal for a long time, man. We've used that to talk. We named our DVD that, and so how Jason Hollywood's solos here, I think, are really when he played these for the first time, I was real pumped because it really had that. It had the vibe that we were going for, you know. Now that's me though. Yeah. I didn't play it on the album, but I went, "Hey Hollywood, go like this."
V was so excited to get this song out that he learned how to play it on drums.
I did, and I kept sending them to Jason Hell, and I said, "Here's how it needs to be played." And I literally learned how to play this. And I stole the drums on this from Striper. We've said that before.
Oh yeah. It's right off of The Hell Devil, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. This was like, and I should also say the way we came up with this. You and I had our guitars strapped on, and we were fucking around.
Yeah.
And I went na 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 na.
And I was like, "Yo, that's fucking cool."
Yeah, and we both went, "Oh fuck! Now what are we gonna do?"
And then we wrote it like, right there.
Yeah, we did.
You know, like originally I wanted to do that with you because I love fucking cool little bass stuff.
Yeah.
And then so we did that together, and then I went into the A, like right after that, and then you were like, "Oh, you should do that over top of that little riff," and that's how we got that kind of '80s vibe to it.
Yep, and like. That's one where we wrote all the music before the lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, no lyrics, and that's strange for me. I don't do that, but we did that, and that's why I said we've been talking about on some other stuff, getting together and doing that all the way through.
Now, I'm always everyone knows 3D is a sucker for a girl.
Yeah.
So I love me some songs about girls.
You're a tender-hearted gentleman, 3D.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, deep down inside. So that's
because I want to get deep down inside.
Yeah, I know. You do. It's like if I were to describe my friend 3D here to you, it's a hard penis, and at the end of the hard penis is a very
smile,
a very tender heart at the back end. Once the penis goes in, you realize, oh wait a minute, there's a heart back there somewhere, but he's just been a big dick the whole time.
Yeah,
that's
a fair way to put it.
A big dick with the tender heart.
Yeah, I feel like there's like some therapeutic shit in that.
Well, you know, I mean that's what I do in my spare time. I give people advice. So here's my advice though: if you like Vera, play it for your girlfriend, and she'll fall in love with you even more.
I still laugh every time he calls her a bitch underneath his breath.
You know, he was just frustrated.
He was just mad. But you know what? What they would call that toxic masculinity today.
If there's one thing Shelley was not, it was masculine. That
I know, but he felt like he deserved that pussy because she went on the trip.
Oh, you felt like that? See, where I thought he was coming from was that place where we all get when we say, you know what, you don't like me? Well, fuck you. I didn't want you anyway, you fucking bitch. Really?
So you're saying you support the guys that'll message girls and be like, hi, hey, hi, what's up? Fuck off and die, you whore.
I'm saying that I realize that those guys, I'm saying that most of those guys are sad.
Yeah, they're sad. I get it.
But what
they need to do is just jerk off more.
I'll tell you what, though. When I watched part 3 and I saw Shelley and Vera's romance, quote unquote, I did think it was a shame that they could never. Shelley was too fucking weird for Vera. I mean,
he tried too hard.
He tried too hard, and he was just too fucking weird. But you know what, man? I think those were probably the two purest characters in that movie.
Yeah.
And I just imagine that Jason.
We both know Shelley was a virgin.
Well, and that's the thing. Jason's probably a fucking virgin too. So he probably says, you know, man, I don't really want to do this, maybe, but this is like I put myself in the character's sad brain, just like we did with Cropsy, you know?
Yeah.
But this is what Jason Hell said when he heard this. He goes, wow, that's a panty dropper right there.
Yeah. Made the floor sticky.
Yeah, uh-oh.
That was my belly. That was my belly.
Okay, your belly growled, but we also faded out. And obviously, you got to fade out a song like that.
Oh, yeah. Chilly as a Stoner. This is... Like we talked about, this is a 3D starter kit.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. I fucking forgot about that. Yeah, and I don't remember what it was originally called.
I think it was just...
was it just...
Chuck and Chili. That's just the name of the song.
That's right.
Because the original chorus was like, oh, Chuck and Chili, why do you smoke so much weed?
Yeah.
There's better things to do with your life, you know.
And so what ended up happening with that... went and got migrated to the bridge.
Yeah, I wrote the whole thing out.
Yeah.
And I gave it to you, and I was like, hey, if you like this, do something with it.
Yep.
And then, like, you found it like years later or something like that.
You were like, oh, I forgot I even wrote that.
Yeah.
Because I never throw anything away like that, because it's like always it comes back around, you know. But yeah, that's right. And I just, the title change from Chuck is a Stoner to Chuck is a Stoner, Chili is a Stoner was like Jackie is a Punk.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think on the record it's just called Chili is a Stoner, but I thought it'd be funny, Jackie is a punk, Judy is a whatever, you know.
Yeah, no. I totally get it.
So that's where we went with that, and then
I like those things, like, you know, like Jeannie Hates the Ramones and stuff like that. Like I like the named songs.
And then we got, and honestly, man, like these verses are some of, I would say, and this song's a little bit unsung, no one talks about this one, but these are some of my favorite verses I ever wrote, because like Chuck's got a limp dick, he'd have to use a roach clip to keep himself erect and fuck his girlfriend on the road trip. Like, I'm proud of that.
Dude,
you know,
I will give you so much credit for, like, because if you don't know this about V, he's been, you know, straight edge his whole life.
Yeah.
You know, like, his only drug is pussy.
Yeah.
So
and I am I'm like a fucking drug dealer.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
The amount of research he did to make this song accurate was amazing.
Well,
he hit a bong for the first time.
The line resin. I was like, what is resin? I guess they just fuck, you know, they making miniature figurines and shit. But this song, and I also stole a little bit of Mikey Huntington for the Chuck is a Stoner. Whoa. I was thinking about the background vocals on Huntington's record when I did that. So credit where credit is due there. But yeah, this is a good fucking V3D 1-2 punch of a song. Really, I actually, till we did this, I forgot how many songs on here were kind of like that. You know. You should never have reopened that can.
This is a hardcore song.
Yeah. This song had a number of different titles and ideas behind it originally. And I won't mention those titles or ideas because those will be other titles and ideas that come up later. But I don't know, man. I was just really thinking of like I just wanted something that seemed a little bit like SOD meets Norma Jean, and I don't think I accomplished that.
I don't hear that.
I mean, like, I don't know.
I just thought you wanted a tough song, like, cause this.
I mean, I wanted something that would come from Animal Boy a little bit, you know, but this is one of the songs on the records where we dropped out the metronome 100%, and we 100% decided we are going to beat our guitars up when we play it.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of, like, digital audio artifacts that you can hear, strings getting hit and mistakes being made. We wanted that because we wanted it to feel like it was just a little bit off the chain. So
that's the ending to this fucking song, man. Just whenever that
okay,
like,
so the part before that, the that's the SOD part.
Oh, okay.
That's the SOD part. Yeah. So
why
didn't
you scream, "You're dead"?
Did I scream it in
there?
No, I should have.
Yeah.
Oh, I should.
Because they do that fucking "You're Dead" song.
Oh, yeah, they have a few songs where there's just like 2 seconds and then it goes. Yeah. Here it is. I don't know, man. This is like, it just felt like we needed something different, especially after, you know, you throw something like Vera on there, something for the tough kids. This is another one where I think people don't talk to us a whole lot about this. We play it live sometimes,
and people would go nuts for it.
Yeah, but it goes on that unsung, you know, part of the record that I think definitely Chili is a Stoner, and this, maybe it's because of their placement on the record. I think
it could be.
People, you know, plus this record's full of fucking hits, so
many.
I mean, but yeah. Oh, there we go.
3D's got Ramones jeans.
I mean, this is a fucking autobiographical.
People never realize how true of a story this is.
Yeah, it is.
Like I was talking to my buddy Scott Smith the other day.
Yeah.
And you know, he was talking about it. He was like, "Dude, that song is so great. Like, that's the best song on the album." And we were like, "Thanks, man. You know it's a true story."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I kind of wanted to ask, but I didn't want to pry." And we were like, "Oh no, yeah, completely true."
Dude, we put it in a song, Pry.
Yeah.
I mean, our from our perspective, Cliffy Huntington is like, what we like about Cliffy Huntington is he's so fucking hard line with the Ramones shit, and we just thought, like, he really is a fucking character, and you meet the dude and you're like, he's exactly the character you expect him to be.
Yeah.
And he certainly came up to 3D and I and said, rock and roll is thin, boys.
Yeah,
lose some weight.
There's video footage of it.
And so then we just, you know, my favorite line in this, though, is two favorite lines. Number one is that we said you traded in your Jinkos for some 505Cs. Those are the Ramones brand.
Such a clever little line. But the part that gets me all the time is whenever you say he looks like MC Hammer when you get below the belt. Because, dude, some of those photos are so bad.
You had some pretty baggy jeans originally.
Well, see, the song's over. We'll talk about it some other time.
Well, I mean, what do we got? Mark's legs don't work. Take 10 minutes. Take 10 seconds and talk about it.
Literally, you know, I got these big ass thighs, you know, so they don't make, you know, straight cut pants for dudes who legs taper the way that I do, you know?
Right.
And so, you know, there's just one day I looked at a photo of myself and I was like, I look fucking stupid. And I was like, why do people not tell me how stupid I look? Because, and like I said, the pants would be real tight on my thighs, but real baggy around my calves and ankles.
Yeah.
And so one day I bought a pair of skinny jeans and it was like, oh yeah, there we fucking go.
And we saw just your silhouette changed and all of a sudden it was like, fuck, yeah, it made a huge difference. It made us look uniform.
Like, yeah, it was like, you know, the first time we all got together, it was like the Too Tough to Die fucking
It felt
cover,
good.
You know? Like it felt right.
Yeah. Now, Mark's legs don't work. Originally...
This is me obsessed with the bass line I wrote, making you make it onto the album.
Yeah, well, because we always said this will be the record where people go, oh, fuck, Jason 3D can fucking play the bass.
Yeah, but then fucking Larry Talbot calls it the Rockabilly song.
Yeah.
Fucking, fuck that guy.
And then I in the studio, originally I sang this a whole octave lower, and this is like at the top of my octave range in terms of like sustained singing. I hit this and shit like Get Fucked, but, excuse me. But this was high, and I swapped it up. I didn't tell you, and you were like, ooh.
Oh, it hurt.
Yeah, you were not for it.
I was very anti the vocals on this song until we were kind of given a demo from our dude John who makes it, and it would come up, it would sneak up on me, and I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
But then, like, I don't know, man. One day, we were just listening to it, and I was like, you're right.
Yeah, well,
I was like, you're right. It needed to happen.
It wasn't until we heard it, and I was in the vocal booth singing and thinking, why does it just feel so weak? And I walked in and I said, be honest with me. What do these vocals need? And they were like, they sound weak. You need to sing it at a higher octave. And I went, I know. Fuck. And then I hadn't been singing it there, so I really had to fuck around. But
you was just kind of screaming in there for a minute.
Yeah, because I just couldn't fucking... Oh, is that it? Yeah, because I couldn't... Once my brain was telling me to sing it down in that other octave, my brain was like, no, sir. But once we got it, it was good.
Now, the next song is I Jacked Off the D.D. Ramone. And this is kind of like a 5-year-long joke turned into a song.
Yeah, it really is. And we ended the last record, Get Fucked, the last full length, with a song about jacking off. And so I thought it would be funny to end this one with a song about jacking off. The Jason's jack off exploits.
Oh, yeah.
And, essentially...
People fucking love this song, too.
Yeah. And essentially it's about not having enough money to buy porno or punk rock, and you choose punk rock, but then you turn your punk rock record cover into porno. I mean... Yeah. And in the end, man, after this title came up, it's like it doesn't really matter what the song is like, because people are going to remember that, I jacked off to D.D. Ramone.
We released a shirt based off of this song, and if you didn't get that shirt, you're really missing out. It's that classic photograph of D.D. beside a pool in his underwear with his big old dick swinging.
Yep.
And we just took a Sharpie marker and we blackened out his face.
Yeah. And, it's the song about desperation. And I also felt like this record probably needed, at this point, one more little Ramones nod for the Ramones core kids out there that like the Jasons too, And that little solo there, that's some good work by Jason Hollywood there. And Jack It Off, yelling Jack It Off before the solo just happened in the vocal booth.
Yeah.
It was like, just throw it in there,
What you just said about the Ramones core kid, it's kind of funny seeing the way that this album was picked apart by the different online radios, podcasts, and stuff like that. Because, you kind of called it out before it happened, but, the people that like Ramones core who have podcasts and all that, they took I Jacked Off to Dee Dee Ramone or what was it, Chili as a Stoner or something like that.
Like the Ramones.
They took the real Ramones ones.
KM1, yeah.
Yeah, and then like other places like the heavier podcasts and all that, they would take, It's Still Crystal Lake no matter what you call it, or blah, 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 blah.
I know, I distracted
American Punk and Rock.
Punk and rock.
Punk and rock.
Punk and rock, yeah. So
just like you called me 3ND.
3ND. So the record ended, but we're going to still keep talking. Yeah, because that's what we noticed. And something for everybody on the record, I think. And, like, good example, the Dummy Room podcast. They wanted the Ramones core songs. The other guys, pick up Scene Police. Or some of the other podcast or radio stations will pick up Red Blooded. Strange thing was, when we recorded with Joe Queer, he lost his fucking mind over Red Blooded.
Yeah.
He was like, this is your song right here. This is the best song you guys did. Like, he loved it. And,
but he only knew 3 songs.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because we don't, we didn't record this record with Joe. We recorded another thing with Joe, but he lost his shit over that song, and I thought that was cool. But we also found out that Joe Queer's a Kiss fan. So, that was interesting.
Yeah. I like Joe. Joe's a very interesting character.
Joe's a good dude. Doesn't wear underwear.
Does not wear underwear. We saw a lot of Joe crack that weekend.
Yeah, he treated us like fucking best friends though, man.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, he talked about that in that Dummy Room interview he did. He talked about how he still loves touring to this day because he meets so many new people and makes so many new friends, and I believe that. He's not someone just like shooting the shit. I feel like if Joe Queer takes the time to talk to you and like hang out with you, I think he views you as a friend.
I think so too. Yeah, you called him an old bastard one day.
I did. Outside of the Voltage Lounge in Philly, we'll be playing with them again.
I was like, see, anybody who was who had fucking rock star ego couldn't take that, but he was just like, yeah, fuck you, 3D.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Yeah.
And we also got to mention, John Stoker, Razorblade Recording Studio, that actually recorded this record. I felt like we did the little documentary, the making of, on our YouTube, but we didn't cover as much of how much of a fifth part of the band he was. He was like, we really, really let him go in there and throw out ideas, and sometimes we kept him and sometimes we threw him out, but there's it was a very free relationship with that.
That there's like that really pretty medley on played on a 12-string. Yeah, at one point, and that was all John's idea.
Yeah.
And I don't think you were quite about it for a second, but then we kind of played it over and over, and like I thought it sounded amazing.
Yeah. Well, and what really got me was
it's in the shape of a...
He pulled out a Mosrite shaped 12-string and goes, here, try it on this. And I was like,
fuck.
All right. And by the end of the recording session, I wanted one.
Yeah.
I really wanted one of those. Yeah.
Let's talk. The gun that he holds to V's head is real?
Yeah. Oh, that was during Get Sued, man.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you're going back. And
we've just been working with him so long.
Yo, we haven't done a Get Sued commentary.
We're going to have to do a Get Sued commentary.
We're going to do one as soon as we're done
Coming to you next spring.
Yeah.
So, what I love about this album is we finally have our symbol.
Yeah.
Like Queensryche has that weird, like, T,
that thing.
Motley Crue just kind of has the pentagram, Wednesday 13th has his shovels. Everybody.
I guess we debuted it on this record, didn't we? Yeah. And that's here's how collaboration works with artwork, because it's kind of like this. We started talking, we need the Judge Dredd eagle because Judge Dredd, you know. And so I'm like, yo, 3D, what if it's this abstract mask? You can't tell it's a mask, but it's in there and it's real square and blocky.
And that just did not make any sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, and I had it in my mind, and then he sends me the logo that we have, and I was like, I don't like it, 3D.
Well, and it was sent strictly just black on white white. Like, there was no, like, real definition to it and all this stuff, but everything's about it's geometrical in the sense that like the lines closest to the circles are kind of tangent to kind of get into it and everything.
Yeah.
And then I tried to do like some offsets and everything, so it kind of it's very geometrically correct. And like I totally seeing it at first why you turned it down, why you didn't like it, and we threw out some other ideas, and I think just we were both completely envisioning different things.
Yeah, well, and it was like one of those things too where I went like, the mask's too big. It needs to be hidden in there.
And I wanted it. It was like, no, like, that's the mask is our shit.
It makes sense, yeah. And it was one of those deals where all of a sudden you sent it to me
as the back of the album, almost not exactly.
Yeah, there's some way that you sent it to me, and I went
on a metal wall.
Yeah, and I went, okay, you're exactly right. And
we literally, him and I were messaging each other, just going back and forth. I don't like it because of this. Well, I like it because of this.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're saying, and I don't like it, which is how I run my entire life. And so finally, I just said, wait, stop. I know you don't like it, but look at this.
Yeah.
And so I took like a metal wall, made some shading, revisions and all this, and made it look really cool, which is very similar to how it came out to the back of the album and even the insert on the album. And then he just looked at it and he was like, all right.
Yeah, and now I have it tattooed on me.
Yeah, the first tattoo you ever got.
Yeah, and so that's a good example of how sometimes you get so far up your ass and you start thinking, my idea is the best, nobody can come in, nobody can do better. And then you really do in a collaboration, you have to go, all right, wait a minute, hold on a minute. Let me take a second, let me take a third, let me take a fourth look at it, because it's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
It's exactly, and it's almost like the fucking vocal thing. It's like one day you look at it and you're like, what was I thinking? That's right. And so a lot of it's like making records is like that too, you know. Sometimes, like, I have a real strong vision for shit. You have a real strong vision for shit. Sometimes if you go in ready to only do your own shit, like, you get yourself caught up. So I think we've learned a lot about just being like, all right, well, let's, like, for me, like, if we're designing a shirt and I send you an idea and you're like, yo, that's not going to work. Here's this version.
Yo, V so badly wanted a tank with a machete instead of a barrel.
So badly.
He wanted it. He was making his own Photoshops and sending it to me. And, like, I just could not convince him that it was not going to work.
Yeah, I wanted that machete tank. But there does come a time, you know, when you got to go, like, if you send it back to me and you go like, yo, that just doesn't work, I got to be like, well, you are the graphic designer and I can't do it. And if you know, and that there's like a little bit of executive decision there where it's like, yo, you'll be like, yo, V, I know what you're talking about. Not possible. Here's what I did. And I'm like, yeah, all right. I get it.
And we've both learned from each other in that sense too. Like, I've seen us both start going on and on about an idea.
Yep.
And then eventually just, oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, where sometimes the best thing you can do creatively, now it's the Jason's Creative Seminar.
Yeah.
Sometimes
this is what you do to be successful.
The best thing you can do creatively is allow yourself, or you're working with a partner, allow that person to go all the way to the end. Play the VHS tape all the way to the end, to the static. Sometimes you need to do that to realize that it's a bad idea. And sometimes you need to do that to realize that it's a good idea. And that's the thing, like, it's like, you know, sometimes you got to play it all the way through, and then it reveals itself to you. Yeah. So
this stuff like this, I think people genuinely enjoy when we talk about stuff like this, because there's so many times at shows where people come up and talk to us about stuff exactly like that. Like, I get asked about booking all the time. I get asked about, you know, how to do this or how to do that, and so, like, you know, you kind of be like, well, this is how you get shows. This is how you do this. This is how you talk to people, you know?
This is how you make the best pop punk and punk rock record of the decade
in existence.
I really do, 3D. And I don't believe that people think I'm being serious. But when I say this is the best punk rock record of this past year, of 2019, I mean it. Because I've said this before. If you make a record and you don't think it's the best one, scrap that fucking record and go make the best one. Like, I'll never understand bands that go like, oh, we'll never be as good as these guys, but here's our pathetic little release. No, make a record until it's the one that you think is the best. Now, do the dudes in fucking the Teenage Bottle Rocket agree? No, they think their record is the best. Because if you don't think your record is the best, you're not making good records. Do the guys in fucking Megadeth think that this is better than Dystopia or whatever the fuck? No, because they're Megadeth. But you know what? It doesn't matter. As long as you think it's the best record, then you've done your fucking job, right?
That's right.
It's been 50 minutes, 3D.
50 whole minutes.
Well,
and the album's been done for like 20.
Yeah, we're pretty much done, but we might just go ahead and get sued. It's like 12 minutes long.
Yeah, it's
like not on this same track.
Well, I figured you probably cut it or something by now. Or are we gonna say goodbye?
Nah, let's not say goodbye.
All right, fuck off.